Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. And there we go. Transition. Huh, I totally missed that. How are y'all doing today? Great. Awesome. What's up, Maggie and Tantus
I
and
look
Kath? You
ridiculous.
do look ridiculous. You look no. I
You
mean
look fine. It's fine.
ridiculously
It's
awesome.
fine.
You look ridiculously awesome. Right?
It's fine.
Right?
Oh, I can't see shit.
But you know what we see? We see an amazing effort right there. That's what it is.
It's true.
It's true.
Oh, jeez. So Maggie, what inspired this costume? Before we even get into the game, just describe your character because what's going on here, Mrs. Claus?
Mrs. Claus? Oh, come on, man.
They're gonna make her feel so bad.
I tried so hard. My try hardness wasn't good enough for you, apparently.
No,
Um,
it looks awesome.
Well, I'm a dwarf, but apparently I just look like a garden gnome, which is sad. I tried, guys. I tried.
No, it looks
Sorry.
great. It does. It really does. It looks great. It looks great. You can see how much I dressed up. I put so much effort into this. Yeah, look at
I
that.
put my hair back so it's not crazy and wild.
I think Frank's wearing a button up. Are you wearing a button up down there?
No, it's actually my reenactment shirt.
Oh, okay. Well, see, there you
I
go.
was wearing chainmail before, but it's 25 pounds.
I don't even think I can drink out of this now that I think about it. I filled it up, and then I'm like, how am I supposed to drink this?
I mean, two of us have actual mugs, so you have a
Yes.
stein. Cheers.
I'm a
Yeah.
dwarf. Why wouldn't I have a stein?
Oh, this is awesome. Oh my god, this is so funny.
But
Okay.
no, really, how am I supposed to drink this?
Grape juice.
Just
Is it-
close your eyes. Don't let the immersion break. Don't let the immersion break.
See, Maggie, now you know how it's like to have an actual beard.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels
I know.
pain. It's a struggle.
This is horrible. Like, how would you even put stuff in there? Like,
Usually,
well-
Like-
usually you open your mouth like
Yeah.
Usually there's a hole.
yeah.
there is a hole, but it's like it's not manageable.
Oh.
Don't add a context to that, guys.
I'm
Oh no, totally.
walking away from this conversation. All right. So, guys. All right. So, let's see. This game, we're going to be playing some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons with you four guys. We're going to be doing a fun little one shot here. Let's see if we can actually wrap up the entire adventure in one shot because I'm terrible at that. So let's see if we can do that. All right. The game opens up with you guys are actually sailing in on a ship. What happened was you guys were all a part of the ship. I believe 2 of you are crew members and 2 of you are passengers on this ship. So as you guys are sailing into this dock here, you're actually kind of really happy that you came across it. This was not your destination. It was not where you were planning to go. However, there was a mishap at sea. There was a storm or something like that had happened. The ship got damaged pretty badly. Some of the crew members or even some of the passengers were lost, which is awful. I mean, it's very upsetting what had just happened, and it just happened recently, like a day or so ago. So you
No, it's great when you lose passengers.
Yeah, well, you get to keep the fare, but not have to care. So
Sacrifices must be made sometimes.
This is true.
so you guys are going to you guys are making your way to this dock where you can just kind of try to find some supplies, do some repairs to the ship, and then get back on course where you were supposed to go. Maybe you were just transporting passengers. Maybe you're transporting goods, legally or illegally. I don't really care. It doesn't matter. But anyways, you are pulling up into this dock to lay anchor here when the captain gives word to the 2 of you, hey, the 2 of you, go offshore, find out where we can get supplies. And the passengers are welcome to kind of step off and travel about at their leisure. So here we are on the dock, starting off with you guys, and we're going to have the 4 adventurers stepping off of the boat onto the dock to start walking into the town to see, where it is they can get supplies, maybe just grab a bite to eat, or maybe just stand on settled ground, because if you're not used to being on a ship, that was probably a horrifying experience. So as you guys are stepping off, we're going to have you describe your characters for me. So we'll start off with you, Tantus. Tell me, what is your character's name? What does he look like? Or she?
It's a he. I am Jessen Kane. I'm probably best described as having some kind of scruffy, short brown hair, about an inch. I have a green eye and a blue eye, kind of tannish skin. I do I look the appearance of someone that's been working out in like the fields and stuff, but I'm very scrawny and kind of like my clothes were really nice one in time, but they've kind of been beat up a little bit. I kind of keep a rapier on my side. I have this like nice dark blue cloak around me. You can see that I'm carrying like a case of some kind of instrument kind of attached to my backpack as I'm kind of pulling off my gear. At this time, though, I'm probably also kind of keeled over a little bit, leaning on someone, going, "Oh God, oh my God, oh, I'm so glad to be off that ship." So that's kind of the position I'm currently in, just kind of like trying to keep whatever is down.
Yep.
Oh.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much. Next one, stepping off of the boat, we'll have Cathanis. Please go right ahead.
Yeah. Alrighty. So, my name is Astrog Gorehorn. He is the character. He is a Minotaur. He has typical, kind of nose ring that Minotaurs have. He has these horns that are Lego. The best way I can't describe them like just to show you. It's like this. They go back some, and then kind of like careen forward, and then out like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He has this very nice big braid, just single like big braid right there for his chin. He has brown fur.
Mm-hmm.
On his mane. Some of the hairs braided. It's like in random spots they're braided together. It's not like a pattern or anything. He has on top of his snout a big scar right there on top of his snout. He is I didn't get a height, but I was somewhere between 7 foot and 8 foot. I think 7 foot and a half. There we go. We'll be good. So, and he has like kind of hazel worker cow eyes, and he has chainmail on. He's just covered in chainmail, and he has a giant hammer on his back, a giant maul, as well as 2 hand axes on his side, and he's just like, wrapping his arms, stretching, just taking in the port air and all that.
So a big beefy Minotaur goes stepping off of the boat. As you step off of that, the plank there to get onto the dock itself, you can actually see the plank kind of jostles a little bit, and the boat itself rocks slightly as the weight of your character steps off of it. I believe you weigh over 400 pounds. So literally, as you step off of it, the boat rocks a little bit because you do have that oomph with every step that you take.
Yeah.
400 pounds. Holy shit.
Yeah, like
I'm probably leaning on the Minotaur and not like noticing I'm leaning on the Minotaur.
Wait, how tall is the Minotaur though?
Because it says well over 6 feet, and I was like, I think 8 foot, but I don't want to overkill it. Screw it, 8 foot. He's 8 foot.
Be 8 foot, dude. Do it.
8 foot,
fine.
sure, whatever. Who cares?
My
it's
arm
8
is
feet
like
tall.
the size of your leg.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Now we're going to do Frank next. Please describe yourself as you get off of the boat.
So Gutrug the bear is a whopping 421 pounds
Jeez.
of just pure muscle.
God.
If you want to like imagine like what that looks like and how tall he is, think of the guy that plays the Mountain from Game of Thrones. Gutrug stands many heads above regular men in orc alike. He has incredibly broad shoulders and just arms that look like they're massive tree trunks. He does. I guess he kind of looks not like your standard sailor though, because he has a massive, bushy, just crazy beard with just hair that's probably about to his shoulder length. That's just as crazy as his beard, and just jutting out that is like a nose that's obviously been broken multiple times. And his eyes are just they're dark brown, but completely bloodshot all the time. Nobody knows why. Who knows? For clothes, he's not wearing his armor right now. He's actually wearing a tartan kilt. Just looped over the shoulder and then, wrapped around his waist. He's not wearing any shoes, anything like that. He does have a belt, but it's underneath the kilt. To his one side, he has a large halberd, not large size, just to match his height. He has a halberd, and then on the belt are 2 hand axes. And on his back, he has slung a shield. And that is Gutgar the bear.
Awesome.
He
Awesome.
almost said Guthrum.
So it's funny
I know,
because
too many characters.
with having little Jezin walking off of the plank, and then immediately after is a Minotaur and this huge, over 400-pound halfway. Little boat literally rocks as you guys are walking off. The plank that you're walking on is stressing and almost breaking. How many times has the captain told you, do not walk off the ship at the same time? But you guys never listen to him. One of these days, that damn plank is going to break. But for now, you survived. You made it onto the dock. And then the marvelous Magbeast pulling in the rear. Please describe for us your character.
And a tiny little dwarf comes through. Well, in comparison to them, I suppose. I am Gadara Redheart. She's a blood maiden acolyte life cleric. She's about 322 years old, so she's pretty old. And as she comes off the ship, she's got like this little limp in her left leg, but she's, walking over. She probably has like her little, what do you call it, prayer wheel that she has in her hand as she's walking off the ship. And she's about 3'11", 120 pounds, and she has blue eyes, light brown skin, and she's a hill dwarf with curly white hair and beard, as you can see here. Haha. That's fairly well kept. She's wearing chainmail, and as I said before, she has a prayer wheel. It's kind of attached to a chain that wraps around her belt. She has a holy symbol of a great sword engulfed in flames on her shield and also on her tabard. And then she's also got a short sword on her side, along with a component pouch that's sitting along her belt. And then on her back, she has a pack, and a priest pack, and a healer's kit along with that.
Awesome. And thank you guys very much. So as these characters come walking off of the boat onto the docks, one at a time, pretty much right after one another. Two of you guys know each other. The other two of you pretty much only know yourselves and have seen the other three around. Feel free to jump into RP at any point in time. But to set the scene, you guys walk onto the docks, and one of the things that is most common on pretty much any dock that you walk onto, no matter how small the town is, and this is actually a rather small town, but no matter how small the town is, there's always people there. Whether they just be sitting at the edge of the dock fishing, or maybe there's children playing nearby, or if they're actually loading or unloading a ship. It's not a large dock. Your ship that's pulled in here is probably one of the larger ones that have ever come here. But again, it doesn't change the fact that there's always activity at the dock, or at least you can see it nearby, because everybody knows there's a tavern within eyesight of the dock. You can always walk off and see it. And there's nobody outside the tavern puking. There's nothing. So it kind of throws you guys off as you walk off of the ship and onto the dock, and you see nobody around you whatsoever. So I will let you guys take it from here. Two of you know each other. Two of you only know yourselves. Go right ahead.
Wait. Please don't move. Please don't move. I'm stabilizing. That storm really got me. I was okay for most of the trip, but please.
There's barrels right over there.
Look. You'll be fine. You're tall enough. If something should happen,
It's kind of like...
What's your class? What was your race?
I'm human.
You're just a human. Okay.
I'm
So you're
just
taller.
human.
You're taller
Just
than me.
a
Okay.
human.
Yes.
Listen, Maggie. As a human for over 31 years now, I have to say I take offense to that. Okay.
Yeah,
Fine.
whatever. So I guess I see him struggling over there.
All right. Okay.
I'm assuming he's having some trouble. So Gadira walks over to him and puts her hand on his arm, and kind of just rests it there for a moment and says, "Hey there, fella, you feeling all right?"
Look, I was in it for the ride, but not for the storm and the problems.
Oh, I'll get something for you. And she touches you, and I guess I'm just gonna bless him or something. I don't know, not really heal him, but unless you're really hurt. Are you really
No.
Yeah, it's just our
not really sick?
Yeah.
I think Guthrum would just shoulder the Minotaur super hard and just point and nod. It's
Then he goes laughing too, at the same time trying to figure out where he can just pick him up and move him to the side. So to find a barrel, just allocate him over to the barrel.
I'll be fine. I'm fine. Don't move me. It'll get bad if you move me. It'll be bad if you move me. It'll be okay. Don't worry. I think I'm feeling already a little better. Oh, ooh, ooh. I apologize. I'll let you go about your business if you need to. And thank you, good dwarf. Thank you.
Gadira, you can call me Gadira. Gadira Redheart it is. And you, sir?
Oh, Jessen. Pleased to meet you.
Jessen.
Dear.
Fine name, fine name.
I
Well,
love
think-
Maggie's voice.
ooh,
I love Maggie's voice.
Like, since the dwarf and the human are kind of in Guthrum's way, I think he would just, like, wait a couple seconds and then just go, make way off the gangway, and just, like, shove you both to the side.
Awesome.
think I
I will
came
fall
behind you.
over without like any kind of resistance, like sort of like thwumped on my butt.
Astronach just starts
I'm gonna help
laughing.
him up as he's knocked over and say, "You there!"
What is it, halfling?
Well,
Ooh.
I'm not a halfling, but never mind.
It's all right.
You
I'm
should
sorry,
watch where you're going.
We
You
don't
know,
want to mess with
people
the.
about.
We don't want to mess with the two
What people?
large
There's
sailors.
no one here.
I look around and I'm like, "Oh, yeah. What? Wonder something's not right. That's for sure."
No, it's
They
totally
probably
fine.
smell the Storok stench.
He just looks at
What
you.
can we see?
and
I'm
just,
Like,
fine.
just-
I'm
just
fine.
sees his nose rings
Okay.
go.
as we're looking, what can we notice? I mean, obviously, the first noticeable thing is no one's here. Is there anything else that might
So-
give reason for that?
Immediately right off the bat, where you're standing on the dock at the moment, absolutely not. However, if you do, you guys want to start walking forward and investigating?
Sure.
Sure.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll probably start like I'll wait for the two big guys to keep moving forward, and I will kind of follow behind them, just because I don't want to get in their way again at this point.
Can I roll perception to see what's around?
Yeah, I'd like to as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that.
Absolutely, you go right ahead. You can actually, and you can roll a perception if you want to hang back and do it. Investigation if you want to like go up and actually try to investigate from up close. Perception is
Like-
probably the safer route.
Yeah, I'm just like I think Guthrum's looking for. There's no one here, so he's kind of looking to see if there's any goods that were left that the captain might appreciate.
Sure, sure.
I mean, if no one's using it here.
And there we go. Okay. So with those perceptions, you actually have everybody but the Minotaur is able to look around and see some stuff. So you guys kind of walk to the end of the dock, over by the base of the dock where it meets up with the town, so you can actually see a bit into the town and whatnot. And again, you still see nobody. It's eerily quiet in the sense that all you can hear is the crashing of the waves up against the shore and maybe the calling of seagulls overhead. So it's not like one of those creepies where there's no nature or anything like that around, so it's just an eerie silence. It's just a still town. And it sends almost like a shiver down your spine, like, oh, okay, this is a little intimidating. So when you guys go up there and start looking around and you notice the silence, one of the other things that catches the eye of everybody but Astaroth, one of the things that catches your eye is that between those two trees, those two buildings over there, is that webbing? That looks... There's actually some more webbing over between those ones as well. Oh, wow. And that's not... like kind of walking a little bit closer and looking around. That is not a small amount of webbing. There is a considerable amount of webbing around. Do you guys want to choose to like go in and investigate it further? Or are you going to kind of like still hang back a bit? Or...
Did you do your research to figure out that some of the people in this party hate spiders?
Was
Maggie-
there
Maggie
like
hates
a
spiders.
place where the dockmaster might be in the area, or like in between the town and the docks?
Whereas that might be a place, something that Jessen is accustomed to. Jessen might be more accustomed to larger cities or even
Okay.
metropolises.
Oh,
This
yes.
is a very small place. I mean, it's one of those, you pull into dock, everybody knows you're there. I mean, literally, there's 3 docks. Only 3 ships can pull up at once.
Oh,
What could
That's
I
fine.
roll to like learn more about like if I know the spider, or obviously there's spiders or something like that for me personally, but what can I know roll to know more about what would be happening here with those spiders and things like that?
I mean, you're welcome to roll a nature
Or would I
check to
just know?
see what kind of insights
Oh,
you
it's
might
nature?
have. Yeah, and anybody can roll that if they would like to.
What is it again? No, nature. No, good.
I
I was hoping
think.
maybe it was be history, but that makes sense.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna work. So instead of actually investigating, like Gutgar is going to pull his Minotaur buddy aside and be like, I think I've never seen a halfling before. Are they both, or just a one?
I'm like 6 foot tall, in game. So
While that
sure.
conversation
He's
is
not
going
sure
on,
if you're a tall halfling or not.
Oh, I'm probably standing next to the two of you because I have not left your side. No, I'm just a human. I only am scrawny. Thank you.
What? We
Oh,
not you.
do you-
We see humans.
do you see what this is? And I'm gonna go over and like kind of check out the webbing.
So Maggie,
not
for
going to-
you with your nature check of 10, you're actually able to tell. I mean, this is pretty obvious, anyways. But it would not be any normal spider or any normal like nest of spiders that can make webbing not only this large in size, stretching from a building to a building in a rather sparse place, but the thickness of the strands itself. Clearly, these are spiders of enormous size. And as you go closer to investigate it, maybe even touching the strands to see the stickiness of it, and you can tell that it is quite sticky. Don't worry, you're not going to get caught into it. But one of the things that you also do notice while you're over there is that it is a lot. Like, this town is somewhat covered in it. And because you're the one that went forward to investigate this stuff, could you roll for me another perception check, please, Maggie?
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. One of the things that you do notice is, as you're kind of going forward and checking this stuff out, is you actually notice that there are a couple of the webbing. There are little bundles of what's it called, of webbing itself, like something was captured inside the web and it's being held up there. It's completely motionless. You don't see any spiders about immediately right now, but you do actually see off to the side over there a commoner that's lying on the ground, or like a townsfolk that's lying on the ground motionless.
Oh, I hope none of you are afraid of spiders. I think we might have a pest problem. I'm
No,
gonna go
just
see what's
glass.
going on with that fellow. I'm gonna walk over to the person that's laying down and see if I can check out their vitals.
Sure,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Astron laughs, then pats his hammer. It's like, that's what this is for.
Maggie, are you a life
That's
mage?
I'm gonna
life
pat
cleric?
both of the two of them and be. That's what
I'm a
this is
life-
for.
I'm a life cleric, yeah.
For checking vitals, Maggie, I'm going to give you advantage for seeing whether or not people are alive. You're an old, battle-hardened cleric of life.
All right. And it's medicine check?
Yes, ma'am, with advantage.
Yeah.
sir. Wow, natural 20. So you go down, and you don't just notice that this person's dead. You actually notice that the person has been, it looks like something has pierced into it, like stabbed into it a couple of times. Kind of looking at it, like there's its arm and its upper arm area. It looks like some sort of mandible or some sort of something has like just completely mangled their upper arm on one of the shoulders, arms area, left, right side, whatever. But in a couple other spots of the body, it almost looks as though something somewhat cylindrical has just put these huge stabs into this person. They are long since dead. Long since it is miserable.
Oh, they're dead. So I can't even use my like heal kit on there or anything.
No, not to save them. But one of the things I can tell you is that
Okay.
looking them over, it looks as though they've been dead for less than 48 hours. I mean, they're starting to bloat and stuff like that. The rigor mortis is really starting to set in. Actually, I think at this point in time, it's starting to wear off almost. But you can tell that they've been dead for a little under 48 hours.
Okay. Well, seems we were too late for this one. Two moons have passed and yet they are no longer with us. We'll
That's
have to
about
bury
it.
him, but let's see what we can do. Perhaps one of you, I'm gonna point at Frank's character. What's your name, sir?
So
I'm Gutgar.
Gutgar. I like that name. Well, could you see that thing up there? Could you maybe take it down for me? There's like a person there's something that's wrapped up in the spider web up there.
nice.
Gutgar would just like look over towards the Minotaur and be like, "You do it.
No.
Well,
I
I find it
don't
tor-
like
I look
spiders."
I look
you
for a
see, I
torch.
would do it, but I kind of look up and look down, and I have a problem. You know, I'm not quite as tall as you. You look fine, sir. You're quite hardy.
First
I
off,
think
how tall?
before
How
you
far
even
away
finish
is it?
your sentence, Gukar would just like put his hand on your shoulder and lift you up.
Oh, what are you doing?
No one tosses a dwarf. No. Okay,
But
so
I
he
wanna look
literally
around.
picks you up and hoists you up into the webbing, Maggie. Into the webbing. So,
Oh God.
yeah. That being said, you are able to. You're immediately stuck against the webbing, but it's not like anything's coming at you. So do you have some time to kind of like fight against the webbing and get to what it is that you're trying to do?
Oh no, he's not placing her into webbing. He's just putting the dwarf towards where she wants to go.
Completely understand. However, where she's trying to go is going to be through webbing.
Oh,
Are you
never
saying
mind.
that you want to stay out like around the webbing and just get her as close as possible?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you are up near where the sack is that you're looking for, but it is inside the webbing. It's up to you
Okay.
how you want to react.
I'm gonna. As he lifts me up, I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I guess this will work. Don't touch me in places that you shouldn't. I'm gonna reach down and grab my sword and kind of try to see if I can cut down the pod.
Sure. So why don't you do me a favor? You're automatically going to hit, no question about that. But why don't you just roll some damage for me so I can see it? Okay, so you start hacking away at the webbing, and sadly, no matter how hard you hack at it, like 3 or 4 slashes, it's still the first few strands you're cutting at are having a hard time breaking. You're welcome to do damage again if you'd like.
All right.
While she's doing that, can I find a torch?
Could you? Yeah. I'll get to that one. So we'll
Yeah.
do the torch bit. So again, because it's such a small town, it's not like there's lamps around or sconces set up on the side of walls to help people navigate at night. You can imagine people just use the stars and familiarity with a small area to get themselves around. So no, there are not torches easily found around here. Now, if you go back over to where the ship is, there was up on the docks. There was a lantern over the post of where each one of the planks came down for the ship area. As to whether or not there's actually oil inside the lantern, should you get it down, that's a different story. Maggie, you finally hacking away some more, able to cut through a couple of the strands, but you're going to need to work a little bit longer to actually cut through the rest of the way to the sack. You don't have to roll anymore. What I'm just going to say is it's going to take you probably like 3 or 4 minutes to finally cut through enough to get to the sack, not even necessarily cut it down, but you can make a decision from there. Anybody else doing something while she's hacking away?
Yeah, and as I'm hacking, I'm like, oh, this is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
I'm gonna
It's
try
quite
to get that
thick.
lantern lit and try to find something to light the lantern with.
Is there like a little rock or anything around the town?
Rocks? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, not
I want
the
to pick
bird.
one up. Yeah, yeah, not the bird. I want to pick one up and cast light on it and have it like ready. I want to maybe like throw it up in the web near her, so it like brightens the area. Because I'm assuming it's in between buildings here, right?
It is, yes.
So it's a little darker, and I don't know that they can see or not, but I sure.
Oh, I can see. I'm a dwarf man. I live in
I got
mountains
dark
and
vision.
hills
I can't.
underground.
Now I can.
Do I?
Well,
No, I don't.
there you go. Okay,
Hey,
so
there you go.
And Maggie, and he's still holding you up there. So eventually, you're able to cut you over to the sack. Do you want to just cut the sack open, or do you want to cut it down entirely?
I want to try to cut it down entirely, but if I can't,
Oh, you can. It's just going to take
Yeah.
a nice long while. So we're going to add like another, say, 10, 12 minutes to this of however you pronounce Gutgar's name. More or less him holding you
Gutgar.
up over his head, kind of like, oh, give me a moment. Roll out his shoulders and put you back up there. I mean, you're not a light creature, and you have heavy armor on, and he's legit holding you over his head like a dad to his kid at a fair or a carnival or something like that to see over the crowd, and he's holding you up the whole time, which is certainly a testament to his strength. And so he's holding you up there as you're hacking away at this thing. 10, 12 minutes later, finally, it rips through and comes crashing down and hits the ground with a loud slump. So it's like a
as it's coming down, before it falls down, as I see it coming loose, I want to kind of like do some roleplay here, if that's okay.
Sure, please go right ahead.
So as it's coming loose, I'm like, oh, it looks like it. I'm getting it. Are you there? I'm gonna point at Cathanis's character.
Yeah.
You look strong. What's your name?
Aster Rock.
Astarock. Oh, that is a fine name. Do you mind coming down here and catching this as it falls?
Do I? First off, do I have that lantern or anything on the fire, like a torch or a lantern?
You
shot
had
with fire?
tons of time. You definitely were able to go in that amount of time and get the first lantern you found. There was no oil in it, sadly. But going around
Jessen
and checking
had the rock that was lit up, though.
I could put that in the lantern if you
Well,
want.
it's something totally different now.
He's looking for fire. So by the time you go around to both of
I
the
can
other
make fire.
lanterns-
Don't light everything on fire yet.
But by the time you go around to both the other lanterns, you actually go to the other lanterns and get enough oil to actually light this thing. It's a small amount. We're talking like maybe less than a cup of oil, so certainly less than half a pint of oil. And then you're eventually able to come back, and you're coming back when she's almost done hacking this thing down. So it's been about 9-10 minutes or so, almost done hacking it down as she points at you, walking back into the area, saying that line to you. Please, go ahead.
Alrighty. I have a
All
torch.
right, are you ready?
I don't respond. I just start walking over there.
Okay. You walk over.
Yeah.
All right, here it comes down. And I do the final slash.
And it comes crashing down. Now, does Astarock actually try to catch it or no?
No. He just lets it fall right in front of him. He just watches it fall.
You know
Well,
what? I'm going to make you
That
make
wasn't quite what I had in mind, but
Hold on, Maggie.
we'll
I'm going to
make-
make him make a
we'll check.
DC-5 Dex check to have it fall right in front of him.
okay.
Because it might fall on his head.
Oh man, am I gonna have to command you guys? Is that what's gonna happen to get you to do things?
Don't worry, Maggie. You're good.
I did-
Oh, so close! So close to falling on your head. Oh, okay. So, it does fall right in front of you, though maybe a little closer than you had wanted. And go ahead, Maggie. You were RPing.
Yeah, she basically is like, that's not quite what she had in mind. She kind of like taps. Kotka, perhaps you could put me down now.
While they're doing that, he gets one of his hand axes and starts opening up the whatever it is.
I'll get in there, but I'll actually have my hand on my rapier just in case.
And as I see him opening it and like hopefully Gutgar's putting me down, I'm like, oh, Astarock, be careful. Be careful,
He's
there might
not
be
being
someone alive in there.
So,
He's just going.
Please hurry. I would like to leave I'm gonna tap you and I'll be like, please hurry. I just want to leave this place as soon as possible. Let's find out what's going on so we can escape.
so when you're down there opening this thing, are you carefully cutting the strands? Are you like hacking away at this thing, just trying to split it open?
He's like doing this. He's going.
Okay, so
Like,
you're trying to cut
here's
the
the bag,
strands, not just
yeah.
mangle everything. Okay, awesome. And then of course Justin is standing nearby, hand on the rapier, ready to attack if need be, in case this thing were to be a zombie husk or something like that. And so you do cut
Or
it
just a big
away, and
spider.
finally you're able to open it up, and you can see that there's some sort of fur underneath, and you continue cutting and cutting and cutting. And luckily it wasn't like a nest of baby spiders or anything like that are coming out to swarm you.
Oh.
No.
Oh God, no.
It's actually
That's what I thought it was going to be.
That's what I thought too.
It's actually
I
a
thought it was gonna be a
moderately
human.
preserved because of how well it was wrapped and everything, and also somewhat drained. A moderately preserved corpse of a cow. Sorry, Astarock. Sorry.
Okay, good. If it was a dog, I was just done with the game.
Yeah, like, all right, later.
No, Astarock's
So-
like, my cousin. Oh, Vanessa. Oh, she's
My
too
wife!"
young.
No, but
Oh well, that wasn't quite what I was thinking it would be, but I'm gonna go down there and I want to check the vitals of the cow. Is it for sure a corpse? It's dead.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a dead cow. Yep.
Astarock walks over to the webbing there. Like all the webs, He starts kind of picking at it with his hand axe a little bit just to see how strong it is.
Why don't you roll damage for me once with that hand axe so we can see how well you do.
Okay. I forgot to put the hand axe in there. I'll just roll. Just this damage.
Yeah, you can. If you just do the. Oh, you said you didn't add it to your character sheet. That's funny. Yeah, just damage. So, kind of hacking away at it a little bit. After a few moments, you're able to cut through some of the strands. So it's not easy to cut through, but you are capable of doing so.
Then he looks around to see if there's any flammable objects attached to the webs near the end.
The buildings of the town are all made of wood.
He's very tempted
All the
to set this
buildings of-
webbing on fire.
Mind you,
He just-
this bit of webbing that you see right here connecting this building to this building, and it's very large, don't get me wrong, is only one area. There are multiple areas with a ton of webbing. You've only approached the first one thus far.
And is it like connected, kind of like a maze through alleys? Or
No,
is
it's
it like
actually
just...
different chunks here and there, almost like you went into your backyard and you saw little pockets on the grass.
So there's no
different types of
pattern
grass.
to the weave of the spider web.
If there is, it's certainly not one that you're able to notice.
Okay.
If I would move
The-
back into the main sort of thoroughfare, do I see any kind of signs for buildings or anything? Like if there's particularly like a tavern or some kind of shop or anything?
Absolutely, all of those are there, and the signs are either done in imagery or imagery and words. The words are written in common because we're playing in a generic world right now where common is universal.
You'll just, as you're all doing this, you just see Astaroth looking back and forth between the web and the lantern, deciding if whether he should do it or not. Just like going like,
Is that obvious enough? Because I'm pretty perceptive.
Yeah, you're pretty insightful, Maggie. I would say you would just notice.
Okay.
Friends, well, I guess
I
friends.
am not your friend.
Close enough right now. Perhaps we should see if there's anything inside a building. Like perhaps the bar? Maybe there's someone alive there? Or maybe some goods in the supply shop?
I'm thirsty anyways. Let's
Yeah,
go.
when I
Yes.
say bar, like, Gutgard just, like, grins this gnarly, twisted tooth grin. It's like, I like how you think.
I
Great.
suppose it can't hurt to see if there's anyone else inside. And maybe this guy needs a drink, but we must find the people of the town and help. I think that there's definitely something awry.
Okay, so you guys make your way over to the area that you discover is the bar, and you go walking in, and the bar itself seems to be of moderate quality considering the size of the town. So maybe people here like to drink. Maybe they actually do get a decent number of ships that come into the place. Whatever the case may be, it is of moderate quality. However, the place is a mess. It looks like anybody that was in here has left in a hurry. There's tables flipped, there's chairs flipped, there's broken glass, broken ceramic, and stuff like that all around. But you also happen to see lying on the ground in one of the corner areas is a giant spider, and this thing is not small in size, that's lying in the ground kind of like all curled up like spiders tend to do when they die. This thing is large. I mean, probably the best comparison you guys have to another creature is if you were to see a bull mastiff or a pony. That size of a creature with its 8 large hairy legs all kind of like curled into itself.
Astaroth grabs his hammer and just smashes it.
No. Before you put your hammer down, let me check it out.
Do you listen
Perhaps
to
it can teach us something about what is going on in this town.
His hammer's like this far away from, he was like... he's
Oh,
like,
nice,
looking at her.
very nice. You almost got him. What can I do?
Perhaps
It's still there. He didn't move. It's still there. He's just
Gutgar, Astaroth, perhaps the two of you should take a look around in case maybe there's another one that's alive that needs
Oh,
hammering.
Fine idea, Jessen.
I
Fine
can
idea.
stay here with Gildra.
Are you
Gildra.
sure?
And
Gizira.
These names are almost as big as you.
Gidira, it's Gidira, sir.
I'm sorry.
It's a
Gildra.
hard name to say. Everyone always has problems with it.
It takes me a
You
minute.
and Kadur stay right here, and we'll... I guess... Do you want to go find shit to kill?
Did Scott crash?
No?
No, he's just not moving.
Yeah,
Never mind.
no. I'm just listening intently. Don't you worry.
Like, I'm sorry. You
He's
just
plotting
were
our
looking,
deaths.
not moving.
That's what he means to say.
Can I make a perception? And Gutgar's not going to respond to anyone. He's just going to, like, look around after seeing his spider. He's just kind of tuning everyone else out.
Sure. So you want to? You said investigate the establishment.
Yeah, because the Humi said, look around. The dwarf and the Minotaur are babbling on about something. He
Why
just
is he wanting to
doesn't
kill
know.
stuff?
Okay. So
but-
two things, Frank. If you could roll for me a investigation check, and 2, could we avoid the racial? There is never any form of racism, fantasy racism in my games. Okay, never ever. So let's avoid words like Humi.
And halfling.
Come on. Right, Maggie? Am I right? Maggie knows I'm right.
No.
See, at least someone in chat gets what I'm referencing.
All right. You make an investigation check of a 16. So one of the first things that Gutgar notices when he's walking around, there actually is on the shelf right there almost a whole case of a really good beer. It's a really good ale that's sitting there, and it has no dust on it, and it's kind of making you a little happy. It's one of the first things that you notice. But that aside, walking around the establishment and looking around to see what it is that you see, kind of like nothing else is inside this area aside from, again, there's a couple dead. There's that one dead spider, and there's a couple of people around. When Maggie, don't worry, we're gonna investigate the spider in a moment. The place is a mess. There's a bunch of junk all over the floor and whatnot. There's the one dead spider. You go walking through the doors into the back area where the kitchen is, where they do all the prep and whatnot. And you actually see back there, there are two people kind of like slumped over each other. Both of them also motionless and doing just completely still. That room is also a mess. There's pans on the floor. There's some rotting meat sitting there on the table on the floor. Whether or not the fire was lit inside the little wood burning stove probably was at one point, has long since burned out. Checking down in the basement, I'm sure there's some things you want to investigate. Checking down into the basement to the wine cellar, you look down there and you notice that there is another dead spider that's downstairs as well. So first, do you take any of that alcohol or do you leave it behind?
Why would I ever leave alcohol behind? Who do you think I am?
So I imagine you grab one of the bottles, bite the cork out, and you're taking swigs of it as you're walking around and investigating the rest of the place. The first place that you check out is the kitchen. While you decide what you want to do inside there before we go to the basement, let's pull the camera back over to Maggie for a moment. Maggie, Jessen, and Astrock for a second. You guys are standing over this one spider where Maggie wanted to investigate it. Maggie, were you looking to do a medicine check or?
Yeah. I guess maybe. I'm guessing I know what I'm going to have to use. I'm probably going to have to use Lesser Restoration on anybody who I can, but yeah.
Okay, with your medicine check, and thank you for not rolling with advantage because it's not a human or a humanoid. It is a spider or vermin or whatever. So with your medicine check of a 21, that's still amazing. That's awesome. So with your medicine check of a 21, you lean over the spider and you can tell it dead. It dead. And what killed it, it also seems to be something large and piercing, like stabbed into this thing a few times, and it had bled out through its abdomen, over in its chest and whatnot. Part of it was kind of like chewed on and mauled at. Part of its insides looked like they were consumed, but it did.
Does it look like it would be an animal piercing of some sort, or does it look like a weaponry?
So
I've seen a lot of
absolutely
various weapon damage, so I think I would be able to tell the difference.
Absolutely, and you got a 21. So if it were a weapon, it's very likely it was a pick, like a pickaxe or something like that, if it were a weapon, because that's just the kind of wounds that's inside this thing.
Okay.
Astrock just looks right back at her, like waiting. He has his hammer like on his shoulder. He's like waiting just to crush it.
I'm looking at it and I'm inspecting it and I'm looking up at you and she's kind of got a grin, but you can't see it because she's got a large beard. Well, seems something must have pierced it. Maybe a larger spider, perhaps, or perhaps a spear of some sort. All right. She taps you on the arm and.
Are you saying there's a larger spider around here?
Sometimes big creatures kill other creatures. It happens.
1 second before you attack the Astrock, Maggie, could you do me a favor, roll me a survival check with disadvantage really quickly, and then we can allow Astrock to crush the thing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Disadvantage of 16. You can see that this spider's poison sac is still intact if you wanted to take the dangerous task of trying to extract it from the body. That is up to you.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be cool.
Okay. This will be another survival check with disadvantage. However, there is the peril of handling poisons.
Okay, can I use inspiration?
Absolutely. You can use your inspiration to negate that to a regular survival check.
Alrighty.
We have inspirations. I don't know we had inspirations.
Everybody has one inspiration.
You get one inspiration to start.
Yeah, there you go. Maggie just knows me. She just knows. Like, oh, he's just so nice.
Can I check around the bar to see if there's like a till or something with a couple coins?
Absolutely. While you're looking that around, I just want to finish up with Maggie real quick.
Sure.
Maggie, was anybody assisting her in doing this? Was anybody assisting this dwarf, or is everybody just kind of watching or looking around doing their own thing?
I was like, perhaps I could get Astrock to help me.
If you'd ask, he would help, but it's not, he won't do any of the fine stuff. He just will hold it in place, basically.
Roll me a survival check with disadvantage, please, Astrock. And if you beat a 10, you give her advantage.
Beat a 10.
It's a straight roll. So, all right, cool.
Hey.
Okay, so Maggie, you are going to roll one more time for me and take the greater of the two.
Alrighty. Ooh,
Are you
I like that
kidding
one.
me
I think that
right
one's
now?
good.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You expertly, because you kind of cut something over, you're like, hold that there, and he holds it, and you reach in, and you expertly, with like incredible dexterity, remove that sack, making sure not to spill any of the poison, and you have it wrapped up nice and safely. You open up one of your water skins, dump it out, and you're able to drain the sack into the water skin. You don't know how many doses you're able to get out of this, but you know that there's going to be a considerable amount. You drained almost a completely full sack of poison into your water skin.
Once I finish that, I'm going to be like, all right, good, nicely done, Astruck. Now you may do whatever it is that you seemingly really want to do to that spider. Meanwhile, I'm going to go look over yonder.
Okay.
When he notices that's pretty much he knows it's dead. Like if he sees something that looks like it's evil, he'll just go ahead and kill it. But since he knows it's already dead, he just puts him all back on his back and just walks away.
Took the fun away. All right, so now we're going to go to Jezin real quick, and then we're going to bring our attention back to Gutgar. So Jezin, you looking around, make me an investigation check really quickly, sir. Being the shiesty mofo that you are, I'm making assumptions here. That's okay.
Yes.
So being the shiesty mofo that you are, you do walk around and you are able to find where the barkeep or whoever it is holds their coin. Moreover, you can actually see the area where after some amount of success of business for the day, where it is that they kind of like open a secret little hole and dump some of that coin into should they ever get robbed for one reason or another, which is kind of a peculiar trait in a town so small, but whatever. You find both where the coin is held and where it is stashed, and you're actually able to pull up, when you get it, a moment, do me a favor, it's going to be the equivalent of 5d8 silver pieces.
Can I roll perception real quick to see if I notice that?
Certainly. I don't think he's sleight of handing, so I'll set the perception to only an 8.
Ooh, I want to see if I see too.
Sure. And then we're going to go to Gutgar.
Ah,
Okay.
Both of you guys do notice it.
So,
we do.
can I do my thing real quick or Gutgar?
Go ahead. We'll finish you off. Frank seems to be patiently waiting with his sore throat.
He sees that, he walks over to him, and you just feel a very tight grip on your shoulder.
Look, you want some too? I mean, come on.
Didn't earn that. Put it back.
I will agree with our friend Astruck, as you say. Perhaps you should put it back. You never know what will happen.
Fine. This is fine. We can. But perhaps, look. How about this? We're in a situation where more than likely the owner of the bar is dead. Yes.
Do you know he's dead?
Have you found him? Have you found any sign of him?
Him?
I have found no sign of him, or no sign of anyone alive in this town at all. I'm assuming that if we should find him, we could give him his money back. But if not, we could always carry it on us, for you never know when we might require it for something.
You didn't earn it.
It is not right. It is not yours.
If he
None
is
of this
dead,
is ours.
you can come back and get it. If he is not, it stays.
Fine.
Okay, so you put the coin back down, and we're going to pull over to Gutgar as morality is forced onto your character. How dare you? How dare you? All right, Gutgar, to you. You were inside the kitchen, taking swigs of that wonderful beer that you had found. It's an ale that you had found. So you're taking big swigs of that. You go walking into that bar and find the two bodies slumped over each other, motionless. What do? Shrug your shoulders, walk away, or approach? Eat some raw meat?
First things first. You said that there was a dead spider before.
That's going to be in the basement. You're going to see that
Oh,
after
okay.
the kitchen.
Never mind
So that's second.
I think Gutgar would go over to the bodies and just put his hand on the one and just like push it to the side to make sure it's dead.
Awesome. So you go over and you slump it off to the side. Looks dead.
Okay. Gutgar is just paranoid.
Just,
Frank, too many zombie movies?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm a DM, so.
Yeah. Okay.
No. So Gutgar's just very paranoid. he might be strong, but he's not very wise.
Mhm.
So anything that can go wrong will go wrong.
Oh.
So aside from the bodies, now one of them just slumped over on the ground. He's going to like look at the table. He's going to check their pockets, see if there's anything of value.
Mhm.
He's not really looking to see what killed them. He's just assuming either they died fighting or they got killed by spiders.
Roll me an investigation check.
Oh, his investigation. It's almost like I'm investigating things. Yeah.
You search around their pockets, and you do find a little bit of loose coin, but we're talking 1d8. We're talking 2d8 copper pieces. Feel free to roll it and take it if you'd like.
Oops, I should probably roll properly.
Probably. We're judging you, though.
Yeah, I'm okay with this.
There we go. Okay, so you take 12 copper pieces, and you choose to leave the room?
Yeah, I think Gutkar would just, if nothing's obvious to him, he is just going to go.
So now you
To the
walk
next
into the wine cellar. Now, while you're down in the wine cellar, you look around and you do see there is another dead spider lying in the corner of the room over there. This one is kind of tucked into the corner. Like, you rolled a decent investigation check earlier, which is why you were able to notice it in the first place. It was tucked away in the corner, kind of like, the room is obviously squared off or rectangular. And over in a corner where two of the wine casks kind of meet, one coming this way and one coming this way. It's like the corner area tucked behind there that's hard to get to. You notice that there's another spider that must have crawled over there and died after it had taken whatever injuries. It's again a little difficult to get to, but you can see it lying dead there.
Okay. How big are the casks?
I mean, these are decent sized wine casks. One of those, like, okay, this one cask right here will probably serve for a month, because you imagine they're doing some fermentation, one
Darn.
cask at a time. They have 4 of them in total in this basement.
Yeah, if they were barrel sized, he was definitely going to take one.
No, we're talking full cask size. So
Are there any,
we're talking double cask size, so like medieval style.
Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know if you know this, but like a regular keg is half a cask, so double a regular cask.
Okay. So
You probably
Are
could
there-
lift it because you have what? Correct me if I'm wrong. A 20 strength.
that is correct.
That's wonderful when you roll for stats, isn't it?
Yes. So, okay, if he can lift it, first things first, Gutkar sees the spider. He likes spider. He stabs spider with halberd.
From the before he even lifts the thing, he just kind of like stabs a spider
Yeah.
from. Okay, cool. You stab it 2 or 3 times just to make sure it's dead, and then
He hoists it up, still on his thing,
do me
puts it
a
over his
favor
shoulder, and
and
tries to
roll
pick
me a
up the
strength
thing.
check to see if there's any mishaps.
All right. Strength.
Oh,
I don't think so.
Jeez.
these rolls today. Jeez. Oh my god. Oh man. All right.
He lifts with his legs.
So yeah, on one
Okay.
shoulder he has the halberd with a giant spider on it, and then the other he has the keg, and he just walked back upstairs.
So you do exactly that. You grab the keg, lift it up. We check the thing's dead, and you go walking back upstairs with this huge keg on your shoulders. Oh my god, this thing's so large. I mean, what's Jezen's strength? Like an 8 or 9?
An 8.
On Jezen's best day, he couldn't even wrap his arms around this thing, let alone one arm carry it up there like he's. I can't even come up with a description. Like Colossus carrying an iron beam, through a construction site. Total kickback to the X-Men 1990s cartoon series right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all nerds. All right, so I remember when I got the first VHS tape of that from Pizza Hut because I went there for my birthday. I got the VHS tape of that, and I was like, "This is the best ever." Wolverine's voice is amazing. I loved it. Was addicted from that point on. Sorry, tangent. All right,
You're fine.
you go
Fine,
walking back in the room with this huge cask, kind of finagle a little bit with those broad shoulders and a cask, but you get in.
How much of that cask cost?
Probably a
lot.
decent amount. It's got wine in it. You don't know if he took the one that's not ready yet or the one that's very ready, but he's got a
Yeah.
cask full of wine.
It doesn't matter.
Well,
So he's
gonna
coming
drink
back up.
anyways.
how much would a couple servings be of that? Would you say?
How much would it cost? You would have to taste the wine to know, but let's just say that this is not a cheap item in his arms.
Because Astorms put some money in that little hole that we found that Justin found earlier to pay for his share at least. because he was going to either take some. First, he's gonna take one of those bottles of wine bottles of beer that Frank had. Get one of those, but
It's 62 gallons. This thing is holding 62 gallons.
Jeez.
Of wine.
Whoa.
Okay. He's
oh
carrying
my god, that hurts.
62 gallons. All right.
Oh god, how is he that strong?
He's got a 20 strength. That's literally like the highest a mortal can get in the
I
game.
know, it's ridiculous.
Ooh.
When he comes back up, Gadara's gonna be like, "So, did you see anything down there?"
So Gukar's like carrying two massive things. He's looking around. It's like this voice coming from where, and then he sees the dwarf and is just like looks over his shoulder at the spider, and then looks over his other shoulder at the giant cask. No.
Excellent.
Can I
Oh my god.
insight wise? Can I tell?
516 pounds. I'm sorry, 516 pounds. A 20 strength could definitely carry
Jeez.
that up there,
That's
but you got
a lot,
natural
yeah.
20 on your strength roll, so you got it up there. 516 pounds.
It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. I just had to look that up. Go ahead.
Insight wise, can I tell if he's lying or not?
Who is this again? Was this Astaroth?
Oh no,
Gutgar,
he's
it's
being
Gutgar.
very
Gutgar, sorry.
obviously sarcastic.
Gutgar.
Yeah. You can. I mean, Gutgar's not very.
No,
quick with his
he's
tongue.
yeah, no, you don't even have to roll. I think he's just being sarcastic.
Did
This
you
is
kill
going
that
to be
one?
quite
or-
an adventure, isn't it? Let me through. So I'm gonna go in there and see if anyone else is alive. Because
Did
you
you
said
kill
there's
that
two
one,
more
or
bodies back there.
Was it killed by someone other
It
means?
died on its own.
Oh, excellent.
I just want to see what it tastes like.
So Maggie,
Are you going to cook it first?
He just gives you like a gnarly grin.
Are you thinking about eating the spider? I wouldn't do that.
When he hears that, Astaroth just gives her like the most what the fuck look. Like, who would eat that?
Did he just say he's gonna eat it? He wanted to see what it tastes like? Yeah.
Yeah, no, he said that he's gonna eat it.
Oh, I didn't hear that. Sorry. He just
Yeah,
gives
and I
them
said
both, like, you see him breathe out really heavy, and his nose ring flies up and down.
Is there a kitchen in the back? You could perhaps prep it first? Get a little bit
No,
of the...
too many dead bodies in the kitchen.
Oh.
Do you remove the poison sac?
He just
I
kind of
take that as a
like
no.
looks to the side. Like, I want to see what that tastes like too.
You'll be shitting your innards for weeks if you eat that.
Oh, if he
No one
even
of these
survives
can
it,
test
that's
it.
the first part of it. Well, let me go back there and see the others that you said were. Perhaps there's one of them alive. I'm gonna go back and see who else is over there and if I can tell if they're alive or anything.
So you go back there and you see the two bodies. One is kind of like lying there slumped against the countertop or whatever's back there, and the other one's kind of slumped away from it. It was slumped over at one point, but you know the half-orc kind of threw it the other way.
That's my investigation. I was going to roll, look around for footsteps, and obviously no footprints.
You find nothing. You actually can't even remember. You can't even remember where he put those gold pieces before when he was trying to steal them.
I can.
You
I
cannot.
have that ability.
You cannot remember it. No. You can retrace your steps there, but you don't remember where that secret compartment was. So anyways, Maggie, you go back there, you look at them, and they're dead. They dead. DED.
Okay.
Okay. So you guys pretty much finished investigating this area. Whether or not you choose to eat the spider, which do you?
No.
No.
Well, I'll let him eat it if he wants to. I'm not going to stop him.
I'll command him not to if it comes to that.
So you don't eat the spider one way or the other. And you guys
I will.
You guys eventually decide to move on. What we're going to do right now is we're going to take our first break, a quick little break. Everybody can, go pee or get more beverage. And when we come back, we'll see what happens as you guys are heading out of this tavern and trying to investigate this a little further. All right. Thank you guys very much. We'll be back very shortly. Thanks.
Get cards.